Hello, welcome everybody back to CodeHS. This time we are on doing basic math within JavaScript. Now, this can get really overwhelming, so if you're struggling with this one, that's okay. I'm here to help. I'm going to go through this program with you and then get you started on the next one. So, what we need to do for this particular program is ask a user how many t-shirts they would like to buy, and then print out the total cost. And we have to declare a constant at the top of the program called cost of shirt. So when building a program, it really breaks down into three basic parts: input, processing, and output. Just like the hardware that we talked about at the very beginning of the year, programs run with those basic components. The first thing that we need to do is we need to figure out what my program already knows and what it needs to know. That's where our declaration of our constant will go, and that is where our input from the user will go. The process is where we actually do the math part of it, and the output is what we send out to the user. So let's go ahead and start off with declaring a constant here to represent the cost of a shirt. So as always, we start with variable, but anytime we declare constants, we put them all in capitals. So cost underscore of underscore shirt. Okay. And we're going to initialize that to 20. Now, I didn't declare it as an interval, or as an integer. I just stated it as a constant. Now, some of you might be wondering, why do we do this? Why can't we just do 4 times 20 later on down here in the program? The reason is what if the cost of the shirt changes? When you are building a program, you want to think about when this program gets bigger. Right now, they're just going to be a couple of lines long, but what if you have a program 80 to 100 lines long and you multiply by that number 20 15 times? If you have to go in and change it, it's going to take a really long time. Whereas if you have it as a constant, all you have to do is change it in one spot and it will affect your program all the way through. So it's part of what a programmer does to make their life easier. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our start function. So as I said, we need three parts. We need an input, we need a process, and we need an output. So I'm going to start those first. I'm still in caps lock. I need a variable called shirts, and that is going to be equal to a read line or a read integer. And then I'm going to ask how many t-shirts. Okay. Question mark, close that parentheses. Now I'm going to get an input from the user. So now I have all my input. My program knows the cost of a shirt. My program is now going to have a variable that holds a number for the number of t-shirts. So now we get into the actual process. So we are going to need a variable named cost. Okay. Now that variable is probably just going to be an integer for right now. And cost is going to be shirts times cost of shirt. Okay. Now, each one of these variable statements are holding a number. Shirts is going to be holding whatever number somebody put in for that input, and cost of shirt is holding the number 20. So here is my process line. This is what my program is actually going to do with those numbers. And now I need output. I need a print line statement saying your total cost is, I'm going to put the dollar sign inside my quotation marks, and I'm going to concatenate the number for cost out here. And then I'll add on the word, make sure you put a space before you type this, dollars. Okay, so I forgot my close parentheses. All right, so let's go ahead and run this program, make sure that it's doing what I want it to. So how many t-shirts, I type a number, and then your total cost. So that's what it should look like. So how many t-shirts? I'm going to order 7 t-shirts. So 7 times 20 is 140. That is running. So let's go ahead and run it again. How many t-shirts? This time I'm going to say 12. 12 times 20 is 240. So that should get you all the way through that program. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Now with running speed, I'm not going to give you everything, but I am going to get you guys started. Okay, so here is our assignment. Write a program that asks the user how far they ran in miles and then how long it took them in minutes and print out their speed in miles per hour. So for this one, we're going to need a couple of different inputs. We're going to need a variable for miles, and you're going to need something for that. You're going to need a variable for minutes, and you're going to need a statement for that. Then your process is going to be actually doing the math. So, how many miles and then how many minutes? So, we're trying to figure out miles per hour. Okay. So, if you ran, let's say, for example, let's start with variable speed because then we need an assignment operator. Um, we're going to do miles. Then you're going to do some type of statement here. You're going to multiply, you're going to add, you're going to subtract, you're going to divide. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And then by your minutes. And that'll give you a statement. And then you'll need to do some type of output for the user telling them. So I'm not going to give you everything here, but I got you started. If you need to do a little bit of research outside how to calculate miles per hour from miles and minutes, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But hopefully, this gets you started. So, again, this is not a complete program. This is just to get you the instructions to get started.